The final ICE VW Golf debuts with the 2025 facelift. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rise News. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where VW has pulled out all the stops for the last of the Golfs that can trace some kind of lineage to the 74 original, where VW's Golf hits two major milestones this spring. Not only does the iconic small family car turn 50 years old, but VW is launching the last ever lineup of combustion-powered Golfs. The name will live on, but when the all-new MK9 Golf appears a couple of years before the end of the decade, it'll strictly be an electric affair, and that includes the GTI. Now, the MK 8.5 Golf, as you can probably tell by a decimal, isn't all new, but a facelifted version of the MK 8 launched in 2019. Now, that Golf had plenty going for it, but it also made some surprising missteps, particularly in the terms of interior ergonomics, and the update aims to fix all of those here today. Now, there's plenty to cover besides the righted wrongs, like a PHEV whose driving range has been boosted almost 70%, and more power for the GTI, the only version of the Golfs available at launch that will make it here to America. Now, the range kicks off with a pair of mild hybrid 1.5s, one making 114 horsepower, 116 PS, and the other making 147 horsepower, 150 PS, but both badged ETSI and driving the front wheels through a 7-speed DSG. Now, if you want those engines with a 6-speed manual, you'll lose the mild hybrid tech and the E from the ETSI badge, but the power output stays the same. Next up is the PHEVs. The entry-level e-hybrid plug-in pumps out the same 201 horsepower, 204 PS as before, while the sportier GTE makes 268 horsepower, 272 PS, both hooked up to a 6-speed DSG and driving the front wheels. Now, the GTE's power figure is up 26 horsepower, 27 PS on last year's, but of more interest is the PHEV's vastly improved range. The battery size has increased from 10.26 kilowatts to 19.7 kilowatts, and the charging rate from 3.6 kilowatts to 11 kilowatts to keep pace. That's extending the EV's driving range from 38 miles, 61 kilometers, to 62 miles, 100 kilometers. And diesel still makes an appearance, though VW has made no attempt to improve either the two available oil burners. The base 2.0 TDI sends its 114 horsepower, 116 PS through a 6-speed manual, while the more powerful TDI's 147 horsepower, 150 PS mill is hooked up to a 7-speed DSG. Like all of the Golfs available at launch, both are exclusively front-wheel drive. Now, the GTI gets a bump up from 242 horsepower, 245 PS, and 262 horsepower, 265 PS, but sadly only comes with a 7-speed DSG. The manual option has been killed off by the threat of tough Euro 7 emission regulations that never materialized. Now, a GTI Club Sport, Golf R, and for Europe anyway, a Golf R wagon will follow, while buyers who want all-wheel drive security but can't stretch to an R will eventually be able to buy the 4Motion 2.0 TSI, whose 201 horsepower, 204 PS output is up 10 horsepower, 10 PS on its predecessors. Now, the MK 8.5 is only the facelift of the MK 8 Golf, not an all-new car, but even with that caveat, the visual tweaks are incredibly subtle at first glance. Look a little closer though, you might be able to spot the front lamp units feature straighter lines and only one bulge on their lower edge. Base cars get a narrow lower air intake and more body color bumper surface, while GTE and GTI trims now have two little claws reaching diagonally into their intake mesh. Also, new for the European market is an illuminated VW badge that bisects the transverse light bar, while VW's design team has come up with new colors and wheel designs. Now, there is one bit of the MK8 Golf that consistently garnered criticism and which VW urgently needed to fix for the facelift. It was the interior. For years, Golfs were lauded for having simple, logical, intuitive controls, but the MK8 abandoned that strategy through a combination of oversensitive steering wheel buttons, a confusing infotainment screen menu system, and horrible temperature control sliders that didn't even light up at night. Now, VW's fix involved replacing the touch-sensitive wheel buttons with old-fashioned hard keys, fitting new tablet touchscreens, 10.4 inches on the base cars, 12.9 inches on the pricier models, and revamping the graphics and menu structure and illuminating the temperature sliders. Now, the updated screen layout separates the center display into two areas above and below the main content, a configurable top bar for your favorite functions, and a fixed bottom bar that provides space for a home button and easy access to heating and set heating controls. Now, you can also see that the European models come with ChatGPT powered voice assistant, but the tech isn't yet to be confirmed here in the US. Now, you can only choose to configure the 10.2-inch digital gauge pack in classic mode with 2-round instruments or progressive mode with display tiles, while tech fans will approve of the Golf's newfound ability to be driven in and out of parking spaces using a smartphone and the optional IQ Light LED front lamps. Now, while here in America we only get the GTI plus the R that arrives later, other markets get a full spectrum of Golfs, including a wagon and multiple trim grades. The base Golf comes with keyless access, parking sensors, cruise control, and LED lights, while the Life trim adds exterior chrome, wireless phone charging, 3-color ambient lighting, comfort seats, adaptive cruise, and 16-inch alloys. And style brings a luxury touch with electric operation for the driver's seats, a dedicated bumper design with added exterior brightwork, and a rear view camera. And R-Line wagon riffs on the real Golf R by serving up gloss black trim, a sports steering wheel with DSG paddle shifters, driving modes, and R-Line sports seats. Now, European sales start this spring, but here in the US, we might have to wait until next year to get our hands on the new GTI. So with that said, small but effective looks on the new GTI. What do you guys think for the 2025 model? Did they fix what they messed up in the previous refresh? Drop those comments down below. And if you guys want to help further support the channel, check the links down in the description below and like and subscribe, but click that notification bell so you don't miss one video. With that said, you guys be blessed, have a great day, and we will talk to you guys in the next Ron's Rise video. Peace.